Today is my birthday. That means I've travelled around the sun 39 times, which is pretty cool. And this time last year, I wrote a blog about all of the things I was pondering on in my 38th year. So I thought I'd keep the trend going, and this year I thought I'd make a video. So here are the 5 things that I've learned and am reflecting on in my 39th year. I mentioned acceptance in my 38 rotations blog, and I have linked that blog in the description box. But I'm going to mention it again because it's even more relevant to me now. I've come to fully accept me, my body, my capabilities, my environment and my situations. I try my best and accept the rest. These days, the majority of my days are calm and content, and I can't really believe that I'm saying that, because in the past my life has been up and down and all over the place, and I've never really felt grounded. And by me saying that I do feel calm and content, then that is most of the time, but it's not all of the time. And what I've come to realise, which sounds a bit naive really, is that that is just the natural state of life, that there are good and bad, there are ups and downs. But actually during the bad times, I always know that they'll pass. I know that I can move through it and be okay at the other side. And by me learning that, it instantly alleviates any pressure or sadness that I might have in a bad day. I'm still learning to channel my inner stoic, which certainly doesn't come natural to me, but each year it's getting slightly easier. I know this sounds really silly, but just recently I've realised that life isn't going to go on forever and death will happen. And this is the first year for me that I've actually thought about death. And forgive me if anybody watching doesn't like thinking or hearing about that. This part of the video isn't intended to make you feel uncomfortable. I don't think about death in a scary way. It just makes me realise that I need to do what I need to do. And there's things that I've wanted to do for years. And as I get closer to 40, I realise that now is the time. When you see some of my challenge videos, I make them because those things are the things that I've wanted to do for ages. And it was only ever going to get harder for me to do them as I got older. They may seem light-hearted and some of them a bit silly, but making these videos are my way of getting things done and seeing what I can learn from the experience. And that leads me nicely to, I've learnt to make videos. This point is especially relevant to me, but if you have no interest in making videos, then you can replace the word with something like cooking, art, music, comedy, dancing, carpentry, whatever you want. For so many years, I've wanted to make videos. It's probably been about 8 years. And for all that time, I put it off, I made excuses, and I made myself busy doing other stuff. Then in May last year, I started a book called The Artist's Way, a 12-week course about unleashing creativity. And shortly after starting that, lockdown happened in the UK, providing me with the time and headspace to finally make the leap to make videos. I didn't really have a plan. I didn't know what I was doing, and I was absolutely terrified to put my work out there, if you can even call it work, but I just had to go for it. I'm still learning how to make videos. They take me absolutely ages to make, and I really have to muster up the courage to turn the camera on, but I'm better than I was last year, and maybe I'll be better next year. If you want to learn more about the 12-week creativity course, then I have made a video about that, which I'll link up here. And if, like me last year, you've got this vision that you want to do, but you're making excuses or you can't find the time, then I really recommend this book called The War of Art. I've read it twice now. It is incredible. I'd say it's life-changing. It's basically like your vision or your dream just slaps you round the face and just gives you a massive wake-up call. In the past, I've been manic. I've been everywhere, trying to do everything, and then, of course, I didn't really get anywhere, so I became frustrated, and at many times I became quite unwell in my head. But since finding my flow and my purpose, it's just given me more time to take care of myself, and I actually feel more introverted. Now, for those people that know me, if you put Laura Try and the word introverted together, Like typically they just don't go together. But I think as well, because of lockdown and seeing less people, my circle of friends shrunk, and also doing less activities, then I've become far more comfortable in my own company. Whereas before, loneliness for me and just being alone with my own head, it was absolutely paralysing. But now I'm really thankful to have found peace within my own company. So with more time to myself, then I enjoy doing things like reading, walking, or just daydreaming and not really doing much. And as a result of that, my brain is way healthier. This point for me has been a major breakthrough. It all started when I sent my phone to Australia, when I wanted to break free from the distractions of messages, email and social media, and I wanted to plug in with me on what I wanted to do. During this time, I read this book, and quite honestly, it was one of the best things that I ever did, because since realising what makes me happy in my work life, this book helped me accelerate. What this book taught me is that each working day, I'm to plug in to my main goal for that day and stay focused on the one thing that will help me make forward progress. In the past, I used to think that creativity could only be done on good days or when the moment took me, but now I realise I need to show up every day, whether the creativity is there or not. And more often than not, once I start that process, it all comes together. Sometimes it happens with very little effort. Other times it feels as though I'm crawling uphill through mud and stinging nettles. But I realise I have to show up and do the one thing that takes me closer to my goal. As I edge closer to 40, I feel far happier with myself and my life. And I feel as though the harsh edges that I used to have, they've just softened. And it feels so nice. I actually feel so relieved. And I'll probably say this every year, and that is, I just wish that I knew all of this stuff ages ago, but I realise that's a bit of a silly thing to say, and I am pleased that I've reached this point now. And so I suppose now is a really good time to say, if you've got any comments or reflections on anything that I've said in this video, perhaps you resonate or feel the same, or even you may want to share some of your experiences as you're getting older. And I ask this because I really like YouTube for the comments section, not all the time, I must admit, but so many of you just write lovely stories, and it's not only good for me to read that, but I find that so many other people are in the comments section as well, looking for motivation. And just before I go, just to let you guys know, I've got a video coming out next week. So 12 weeks ago now, I quit my job in order to do YouTube full time. It was a bold move, but I've got my 3-month update coming next week. And at the time of quitting my job, I had 889 subscribers, and now I've got nearly 14,000. Like, that is just mega. So to all subscribers out there, thank you so much. I'm now at the point where I'm earning money from YouTube, which I just can't believe. So in that 3-month update video, I'm going to give you my progress in that 3 months, and I'm also going to share some juicy information about how much money I've earned and how I've earned it from YouTube. So if you want to watch that, then keep an eye out for that on my channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you at the next video. Be quiet, crows. I'm trying to make a video. Come on. Actually, while you're here, this is so funny. I'm just sat in this little footpath near where I live. People keep walking past me. So I've got my sellotape that sticks my script to my tripod. And then I sit on this little stool. I must look so random. This is what my oops. Just broke the stool. And then this is what my camera setup looks like. I stick my script to my tripod. It's rock and roll, baby. It's rock and roll.